All right, everyone, it's 2 o'clock p.m. Welcome to the Sunday Hangover. Once again, it's it's that VINCE. We're going to review some of the results from the Mr. O. Going to be a 1 hour show today. Because, like I said, the Sunday Hangover is just, just to cover all the leftover stuff there. Of course, because it is Olympia weekend and there was a lot of controversy behind it, I'm definitely going to go ahead and address that first and foremost. Looks like people are just straggling in, so. But, if they miss anything, they can get it on the replay, It's always important. Tune in to know when the show's going to be happening. Psycho, I see you there. I hope you're doing well. It's always good to clean out for a little bit in terms of any drinking and smoking. Of course, this is the last of my Bloody Mary mix. They're spicy, so I'll need to go in and get more. Of course, I did debate Always Marco last night on his channel. Pretty much a non-bodybuilding related topic. So I didn't really have a chance to, and folks, that's the reason why I wasn't able to, do coverage of the Olympia, because I did promise Marco that, me and him would have a friendly conversation. So that was a 2 hour debate. But essentially, I woke up this morning, or actually I found out last night, and then I went to bed, that Derek Lunsford won. But what I didn't know until morning time was that Hadi Chupon had actually walked off the stage. He was pretty upset with his placings. So I did ask around and well, what happened basically? And, there's been a couple of grumblings that, maybe Hadi didn't place well simply because he was from Iran, and currently we have the Israel-Palestine conflict that's in place. And there's a slim possibility. It's a slim but none possibility that this could be the case here, But you're going to hear a lot more about that in the coming days. It's going to get pretty bad, folks. But in any event, let's go ahead and... Well, everyone thinks they're better than the other person. I'm talking about, and this doesn't come directly from Hadi, Psycho. This is just the grumblings that's going around that Hadi was cheated because he was from Iran, you can't make this type of stuff up, really, It's just one of those things. So what do I have here? Where is it at? All right, so let's go ahead and get things on the road. Oh, wait a minute, 1 second. We're going to review John Bravo's video first. Like I said, this is just going to be an hour show, but we are going to do some reviews. As soon as I get this screen properly moved over. I don't know why everything's out of place all of a sudden. But yeah, he walked off stage. Like I said, I don't have any official word, Psycho, from what Hadi says, but I'm hearing a lot of other stuff being said, and that's why I said it's gonna be pretty bad. I got Bloody Mary and water. I've already had my coffee, so. But let's go ahead and check out John Bravo's video here.
Case, like I said, I just saw something in Derek. When he was on stage in front of the other three guys, I just felt that this was his night to win. I just felt there was something about him on this night, and it's going to make him a champion. So first, I want to congratulate Derek on winning the Mr. Olympia title.
The Sandow and the title of 2023 Olympia champion to our winner, and new Olympia champion, Derek.
He did it.
Lunsford.
He did it. Derek Lunsford.
Derek Lunsford
Made it happen.
And after I made the video earlier on in the evening, you guys gave me a lot of shit. And I said, you know, if you don't agree with what I said and I'm an asshole, let me know. But man, I couldn't understand the comments that are in there saying, John, you're not an expert. You have no right to commentate. And
What's up, Ninja? We're just reviewing a little bit of the results from the Mr. Olympia. It's only going to be an hour show, mostly Q&A, but because it's Olympia weekend, I do got to go over a couple things. But glad you can make it here. As far as what, I'm going to be honest with you, my opinion about the show, they could have given either one of them the title. Both of them looked awesome, you know. It would, I mean, and Derek is all deserving of the title just as much as Hottie. So, I mean, you know, it was a very close show, you know, so yeah, I feel really somewhat bad for Hottie but you know, at the end of the day, only one person can win. You know, it's like Highlander. There can only be one, you know. You just got back from the Philippines. Why? Why'd you go to the Philippines for? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, but glad you made it back safely. Hey, Bean Smasher.
give us your opinion. Listen, I never said I was an expert. I'm not a judge. But you know what? I've been watching bodybuilding my whole life, so maybe I sometimes know something. And in this case, like I said, I just saw something in Derek. When he was on stage in front of the other three guys, I just felt that this was his night to win. I just felt there was something about him on this night, and it's going to make him a champion. And I want to say,
John is my dog and everything like that. But like I said before, when I went through the top predictions, it was really between Hottie and Derek Lunsford. Trying to predict the results of this is just like flipping a coin. It was always going to be close. So you're going to be either 50% right or 50% wrong. I could have said that. I could have flipped the coin, said that based on the coin, Derek Lunsford would win. But, when coming down to those predictions, either one of them could have actually won. It's just a decision of the judges because they both looked awesome.
Again, like I was saying, they all looked great. It was really hard. I think any one of them could have won, and we all would have been happy with the result. But again, Derek looked the best, in my opinion. And I think he's going to be a great champion. And my best wishes to Samson and Hottie. Yes, I know his name is Hottie. I was trolling you guys and saying he was Arab. Meantime, he's Persian. Hani is an Arabic name. I'm Arab. So I was trying to say a joke, but a lot of you guys didn't get it. But I won't hold anything against you guys. And Derek, at the end, gave a very, very motivating speech, and I'm going to play that.
Derek Lunsford, folks, becomes the first bodybuilder in history to win in 2 different Olympia divisions. Your 212 Olympia champion, now Mr. Olympia.
Yes, and that is definitely a supreme compliment. He's won the 212, and now he has won the Mr. Olympia. Of course, I don't know where Brandon Curry placed, but I did see some pictures, and it's just like I said before. He didn't look too well, but, tough breaking, and stuff.
Where's my wife?
Your wife was looking for that check that they brought off the stage. I gotta just tell you that right now. She's like, you keep the Sandow, I got the check.
Oh my gosh, guys. I literally don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh. You guys supported me so much. Thank you so much, guys. This entire year, I've been focused on training, coming back, and I wanted to make history. I was on a mission to make history, to be the first two-division Olympia champion ever, number 18 Mr. Olympia of all time, and we did it, guys. We did it!
Ah, so beautiful, folks. But yeah, in the coming days, it's gonna get pretty nasty out there in terms of the accusations. Normally, you have things to where, people will go ahead and claim that, Hadi got cheated and everything. But now, with that Israeli-Palestine conflict, it's just gonna add a lot more fuel to the fire. So you can almost guarantee. It was a very close show, Psycho. I mean, both of them looked awesome. Both of them. They both looked awesome. Either one of them could have won. I can't really say that Hadi was better than Derek, and I can't honestly say that Derek was better than Hadi, This was just I think it was just a judge call, I would have to look at the points, but I can surmise that the points were pretty close as far as to who was going to win the show. Or as far as who's to win the show. I can guarantee that point system was super close. Well, Bean Smasher, you got to have a dark tan, whenever you're competing, That way it shows off your muscles better. You can't be pasty or anything. But let's take a look at... Where's the next one at? Mr. Olympia. Seen that one. Okay. That one's too long. Where's that other one I was going to put up? I guess they are rotisserie chicken. I am kind of hungry now that you think about it, Very hungry. Well, let's go ahead and play Loud Greg.
I'm foreshadowing.
As far as this is concerned, because he just put it up 12 minutes ago. So get ready, cover your ears. It's going to get a little high-pitched.
Because there's a lot of controversy. 50,000 plus comments of controversy, and it's only been an hour.
Psycho, I'd have to find one of the tapes. I would just have to find the 2009. I have no clue where that could possibly be.
And so, here to wrap up the 2023 Mr. Olympia Open Men's Bodybuilding, and boy, was there some controversy. I'm going to get right into that, but first, let me start off by saying who placed in the top 5, and in 5th place was Andrew Jacked. Andrew Jacked I had in 4th place. I think he should have deserved 4th place, but they got him in 5th. Now, he could have had leaner legs, but boy, this guy has an amazing upper body. Amazing legs, too, just not quite as shredded as it could have been.
Hitting the top 5 is going to be in the money section. Being 5th, that's good work for Andrew Jack. That means it's going to put him in line for the running at this point in time. So, it'd be even better if he won the, he should, zip up and try to win that Arnold Classic, because they raised that prize money a whole bit.
The guy can pose. He had an amazing routine, a sexy routine, full splits in the end. This guy knows what he's doing. If he can get a bit leaner and just get a little bit more size, I mean, he does have size, he could eventually win a Mr. Olympia championship. The guy has an incredible physique, and I'm sure he wowed the crowd, and I really did want him in 4th place. And in 4th place, I had him in 5th.
I would have to contact Ox Body Promotions, or at least who owned it, but Ox Body Promotions is no longer around, Psycho. That's why it would take a but maybe I might look for it there. So just ask around. It doesn't hurt to ask.
Fifth, Brandon Curry. Apparently he had food poisoning or something. If that's the truth, he should just keep having food poisoning. I mean, the guy might have been at his best. I think he was just as good as he's ever been. I didn't see any real flaws. As usual,
He's still flat. What are you talking about? He got a gift. I'm going to be honest with you. Based on that physique, he got a gift placing because he was a Mr. Olympia. But he doesn't look good at all. I've seen him much better. You could just tell just looking at the legs and stuff that, he's not fully filled out.
his legs aren't quite up to the size and conditioning of the upper body, but he has a great physique.
Look at this here. How in the world did he land in that place? Look at the legs. They're not filled up. There's nothing there. When he's throwing that pose, he looks like he's almost in the classic physique division. Literally. And this is what I was talking about, folks. There was no way after all that he was going to fill all the way up, But, because he's a Mr. Olympia, I guess you could award him fourth because he still has good aesthetics and stuff. But I would honestly say this is the worst I've ever seen of Brandon Curry, and that's to be expected, I hope he doesn't try to do this again, but I'm definitely, I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely glad that he didn't end up like George Peterson in trying to do this, So at the end of the day, he's still alive and he's still breathing. I only wish the best for Brandon. I just don't think that he should have done the show. And he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. He looks almost like a classic physique competitor just with that pose. His legs are down. He's flat, But at least he's still alive and, and stuff, so. Hopefully he doesn't have that issue anymore.
He has a great physique, very aesthetic. And for him to get fourth place, he has to be pleased with that. It was no shock to anyone who was going to be the top three. I predicted this a long time ago. But talking with thousands of people at the expo, everyone had someone different winning.
Well, Psycho, when you're flat, that means your muscles are not popping. When you go into the pump-up room, if you don't, and you... right before getting on stage, you got to pump up the muscles. If you don't have enough carbohydrates in the body or so forth, you're not going to be able to pump up the muscles. You're not going to be able to get a sufficient pump, in other words. And that's the thing. Brandon Curry looks like a underinflated balloon, But he has good enough aesthetics and has that prestige to where he's going to land in that placing. So
everyone. And so no matter what country you're from, no matter what state you're in, no matter who is your favorites, you should respect the fact that any of those three could have won. I am a fan of Derek Lunsford. I was cheering for him to win. I had him winning. If he hadn't won, I wouldn't have freaked out. I wouldn't have made controversy. And so you got to be respectful to other people. Now, in third place, Samson Doda. I had him in third place. To me, it was a clear third place. But if he had won, I wouldn't have freaked out. I wouldn't have been like, oh my goodness. But this is how I saw it, and this is how I'm seeing it as a judge. He, from the front, was winning. He was winning. He was the best. Standing relaxed, holy. As soon as he walked on stage, I'm like, oh boy, it could be an upset. This guy could win. Remember, I'm cheering for Derek. But then turns around, the back is not there yet. And I'm saying yet doesn't mean he's not going to get there.
Yeah, Greg is right. He needs to put a lot more work in his back. Hey, Lamar, what's up, man?
He has a huge amount of potential. He might actually win next year. I don't know. He was very, very good. One of the closest...
Well, not deflated, underinflated. He didn't fill out enough. He did pretty good filling out for what situation that he was in. So I guess now that I think about it, he did get a good paycheck from landing in fourth place. So, but still quite dangerous to actually do. The biggest concern I had is that, he would end up in one of those George Peterson situations.
Closest Mr. Olympias I've seen in ever in history. Three guys, they kept flopping them from first to second to third, all getting a chance in the middle. Everyone was wondering who's actually going to win this, and so I think that was done very, very well. It kept the audience guessing. I thought it was respectful to the athletes. Everyone had a fair shot at winning that title. So I'm foreshadowing, because there's a lot of controversy. 50,000 plus comments of controversy, and it's only been an hour. Samson Dora needs leaner legs. He could have been more conditioned. Okay, he needs to come in leaner, but he's just getting to where he is right now. It's taken him a while. It's been 2 years. People are saying maybe if he brings it together, he'll get to the Olympia. Get to, not win. Now it's like, can he win the Olympia? And so from the front, I feel he's dominating, but from the side, he's not dominating anymore.
Hold on a minute. What was this?
He's not dominating anymore. Hadi and Derek both, I feel, beating him on the side. From the front, I feel he's dominating, but from the side, can he win the Olympia? And so from the front...
Shoulders look a little bit off on Samson, but I'm not going to say anything else about that.
Front, I feel he's dominating, but from the side, he's not dominating anymore. Hadi and Derek both, I feel, beating him on the side. And from the rear, Hadi and Derek both beating him lights out. And so...
You know, Hadi doesn't have a dark enough tan, actually. I'm not sure if it's the lights or so forth, but his tan should have been a little darker, you know. I mean, he looked great. I mean, the pictures that I saw showed him dark, but I wonder why they're a lot lighter, you know, in this particular shot. Must be some sort of lighting issue, but he was pretty dark when the pictures were issued.
So you got to give him third place. Did not think he had the condition to battle out these two other gentlemen. Very tall, imposing, excellent symmetry. He looks like a classic physique competitor, only with more muscle, and so fabulous.
Ooh. Called him a classic. That's sort of an insult, actually.
Job by Samson Dora. He really, really brought it. $100,000 for his efforts. And in the top two, it was the same as last year. The same top two. I thought it was going to be like this, predicted it was going to be like this, and I was not disappointed. Very close battle. Could have gone either way. I was sitting there and I was like, please say Derek. I didn't think he had it in the bag. He didn't win.
Yeah, his tan is dark enough. Never mind. It is some sort of lighting issue. It's just that Derek's tan is a lot more than his, but he's got the proper tan.
Win by a landslide, but I did feel Derek won. Not everyone judges bodybuilding the same way as I do. So this is how I saw it. From the front, depending on the pose, either man was better. Hadi Chopin was better, absolutely most muscular. Most muscular every time he did it. I'm staring. I'm a fan. I'm watching Hadi. I'm watching him do his most muscular. I'm watching the striations in the chest, the crazy abs, and I'm like,
yeah, the lighting obviously was horrible, you know. Definitely horrible.
This is so pleasing to watch. Remember, this is the first Olympia I've watched in 12 years. 12 years, 2011. And so I'm a fan. I'm watching. I'm sneaking to the front. I'm trying to get a good seat to watch this because I'm doing videos on it. I'm getting as close as I can so I can get the best vantage point to give you the best opinion on what I think that you should be looking for. And so Hadi's winning that pose. But front double bicep, it's rare that I've ever seen a front double bicep that looked like that. And by rare, I mean never. Derek Lunsford's front double bicep is the best front double bicep I've ever seen in my life. And the reason for that is because he has a vacuum pose just as good, if not better, than Chris Bumstead, which is...
Yeah, it's like I said before. If you're able to nail that vacuum pose, it just makes that X-frame look all better. So it's very... doing a double bicep with a vacuum pose, it's making a very powerful statement.
Saying a lot because Chris Bumstead's vacuum, it's out of this world. And
ew. I've always, never mind.
To me, it's why he has 20 million followers. Well, part of the reason, because that vacuum pose made him famous, brought him on the mat, and he actually cemented
Phil Heath's retired. Sean Roden is really retired.
Classic physique is basically just as good as open bodybuilding. It is super famous. You should have been at this venue. It was absolutely electric. Both divisions, incredible. And so he does that front double bicep. His waist is so small, and his lats, the muscles stick out 6 inches on either side of his ribcage. It doesn't make sense. It's as if you're watching his rear double bicep in the front double bicep. peaked biceps. He's posing it perfectly. His legs put on a ton of size from last year, and the guy was shredded. The front double bicep is mind-blowing. It's worth the price of admission just to see that pose alone. When you turn to the side, I really like Derek Lunsford. He has the side legs, the deep lines.
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with that. Hadi Choopan is killing him on the side bicep, you know. He's killing him on that. There's just... I mean, Derek's legs look a little bit better, but again, he's coming from an angle. Once he turns around, he's still got him on the legs.
And a very wide-looking upper body. It's very, very...
I mean, boom, right there.
Very incredible to see. Hadi Choopan also very incredible, equally good. These two could go either way. Samson Dota, I feel a little bit behind on those side poses. What's that famous saying that everyone says? Shows are won from the back. This show, without question, was won, if not dominated, from the back. When I saw Derek do his back double freaking bicep, I was thinking, I've never seen anything like this. The only guy that comes to mind is Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman! You ever seen his back? You remember Ronnie Coleman? The glutes, the shreds, the sheer size. It didn't make sense. Well, Derek is so much shorter, but yet has, for per square inch, probably more muscle than Ronnie Coleman. It doesn't make sense how much muscle's on that back. In particular, the shreds of the glutes in combination with that, the detail, the width. It's ridiculous. I'm seeing comments, 50,000 plus people hating, saying that it's politics, that he got robbed, that there's something wrong. Hadi deserved to win first place. And I'm like,
it's more than just politics. And it's going to get, folks, it's going to get real nasty in the next couple of days. You just watch. Because now it's going to, it has a very sinister element to it. It really does.
have some respect.
In fact, folks, I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't go on TMZ. And there's, like I said, either one of them could have won, but with this, people are going nuts about the Israel-Palestinian conflict. So I think this particular contest, unfortunately, is going to be used as leverage that, Muslims are being discriminated against, and that that Jews actually caused Hadi to lose, and that Steve Weinberger, because he's Jewish, pretty much rigged the show to make sure that Hadi didn't win. None of which is true, in my opinion, but that's exactly what's going to happen, You want to know why? Because everyone likes to insert politics into everything.
The judges are doing the best job they can. They gave Hadi first place last year because he deserved it. They gave Derek first place this year because he deserved it. There shouldn't be a bunch of comments saying he got robbed and he deserved this and it. They were close. It could have gone either way. And so they went through all their poses, and in the end, Derek was seen as the best on that night. Doesn't mean that Hadi didn't do amazing. Doesn't mean he's not a great champion. Doesn't mean that the United States and other countries can't get all along. Everyone deserves a fair shot. This is a sport. It's a sport. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It's the best athlete on that morning show, night show, that deserves to win the competition. Don't take it away from Derek.
It is it's not just a conspiracy. It's just going to be gaslighted, Psycho. I mean, I can see it coming. It's already, people are already putting that in Reddit and stuff. It's gonna get nasty. Hey, Scatman, what's up?
Derek had no involvement in the judging. Derek did his absolute best, and he won it on this night. Maybe next year, Hadi will come back and take it. Maybe it'll be Samson Dota. Maybe it'll be Andrew Jack. Maybe it'll be someone else. But don't...
You won't see Hadi Choopan competing anymore, in my opinion. I think that he's done. He's not going to compete anymore. And I just have that feeling.
Spoil it for people. Don't ruin the sport. And so, after being awarded first place and they're getting the photos, Hadi Choopan walks off the stage. You can hear Bob Chicharello say, "Hey, get back, we're taking the photos." He walks off the stage. He's clearly disappointed. It's okay. We understand you're disappointed. I've lost competitions plenty of times in the past.
Well, he did walk off, but maybe he didn't understand Bob. I mean, I mean, I believe he speaks Arabic. He may not have understood, but he did clearly intentionally walk off here, you know.
You don't walk away. You don't take away that moment from the other competitors. No one wants to be around a sore loser. If you go and walk off the stage, or sometimes people even throw their trophies and they kick and they scream and they.
Well, you know, you're correct on that, Greg. I mean, but I wouldn't make too big of a deal about it. You know, Flex Wheeler walked off the stage when Ronnie Coleman beat him in '98. You know, this is a show that people spent the entire year training for, you know. You're dieted down, your emotions are running high, you know. So, you know, walking off stage is just a natural reaction, you know. I always look past it if someone walks off stage, you know, or so forth. And like I said, we still don't know why he walked off stage. Maybe he was feeling a little sick or something. More than likely, he probably was upset, you know, and that's perfectly fine as well. He didn't take away from Derek's win. Derek, at the end of the day, he has the Sandow, he has the medal around his neck, and most importantly, he got the money, you know. He got the check, you know, or at least his wife has a check.
Curse and swear, it really does ruin it for you, because when you're victorious, you're very happy and you want to share that moment. You want to share it with the other people. I'm sure he has mad respect for Hadi. I'm sure he does. It's a very close battle. They battled it out last year. He wants to shake his hand and be proud of his achievement, and he wants Hadi to be proud of him as well. In the end, we just want us to be the best that we can be. You can't control other factors. You can't control other people. And so I was highly disappointed to see some of these negative comments, and by some I mean tens of thousands, on Hadi Chopin's wall. Nothing wrong with saying, you are our proud champion from last year. You can do it next year. Excellent try. You gave it your best. Even saying, hey, I had you in first.
But you're assuming, you're actually assuming that that was the reason that Hadi Chupin walked off, because he's a sore loser. I mean, there's a 99% possibility that that's the case. But there's always that 1% where he may have walked off for a completely different reason, you know. And it's always important to wait until you hear the statement from it. I mean, from optics-wise, it didn't look good for Hadi to walk off.
First, nothing wrong with that. And so I will be filming with Derek on Tuesday. I've been planning this for months. I can't wait to do this, be able to train with the Mr. Olympia champion. And remember, I've been cheering for Derek ever since.
I think it was 300,000, but I can't be sure. I know the Arnold is going to be raised at 330, I think.
He was amateur and turned pro. I was like, this guy has something special. I thought he should have remained as a 212 champion. I'm eating my words. He's the open champion now. I felt he should have stayed at 212. He proved me wrong. He put on over 20 pounds of muscle and just became just the craziest physique. I just can't get over how impressive he is. If you haven't seen him in person, you just seen him on the live stream, it is different in person. It's hard to believe how much muscle he has, how shreddy he is, and how he looks, and that vacuum. It's mind-blowing. And so I can't believe I'm going to be training with him in person on Tuesday. I'm very excited for this. And so please go out and give this guy a follow, and let's see if we can do it next year. Obviously, I'm cheering for him next year, but I also want to see everyone at their best. And if anyone can surpass him, then good on you. Let's see who can do it. I think the next guy to look out for is, in fact, Samson Dota, because all he needs to do is improve that back. And if he can do that, Derek, he's going to have to watch out. It could be.
Yeah, I knew it was a very high amount. Eventually, it'll be about $500,000, but that's a lot of change to take home.
Close next year. You never know. Hadi could come back with even leaner, grainier definition in the glutes.
Like I said before, I don't think Hadi's coming back.
The back, Derek cannot let up. He can't step off the gas pedal. Sometimes the battle to the top, it's easier because you're hungry. Sometimes you get to the top and it's hard to stay up there. And so time will tell next year. Now, if you want to support me, you can, of course, get my cookbooks. You can get the Harder Than Last Time clothes.
Yeah, we don't. We're freaks. We don't need cookbooks. We'll just throw a steak on the Barbie. But yeah, I don't think Hadi's going to be coming back. He's just not coming back simply because, you know, what's going to happen in the next couple of days is people are going to bring up that. People are already bringing up the Israel Palestine controversy as being a factor. This whole situation, as far as Hadi losing, it's going to be gaslighted, in my opinion. I can't say that because both of them were even Stevens. You know, Derek looked good, Hottie looked good. You know, each of them won and lost poses against each other. It was pretty much balanced out. Like I said, either one of them could have been awarded. You could make an argument for Hottie. You can make an argument for Derek. You know. But it's just going to get really bad. So. Oh, boy. So, folks, we got about 25 minutes left. So, of course, this is generally a Q&A. I just wanted to, because it's the Mr. Olympia, I wanted to put the reviews out and comment on those. So, get your questions in if you got them. Well, remember, Psycho, if things get really bad, you know, he may not be allowed back in the country or so forth, you know. I just feel as though this was his last competition. I have that Mike Metzer feeling to where he's upset to the point to where he's not going to compete anymore. You about to hit the cardio? Okay, Lamar. Make sure you keep your phone or tablet on the live stream at least till 3 o'clock. Structure is pretty much going by genetics, you know. Do you have long or short muscle bellies? How tall are you? How many pounds do you weigh? Are you stocky? Are you an endomorph, ectomorph, or mesomorph? You know. These types of things are what describes a structure. Scatman, no. That's disgusting. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to catch up on a little football.
Ding-a-ling.
Bean Smasher with a $10 donation. Ding-a-ling to you, too, so. Well, Scatman, what cause would that be? Taper? You don't know what a taper is? The taper is the, I guess we can go with the V-taper. V-taper is wide back, shoulders, very narrow waist. It's, you know, that's a taper, in other words. Taper basically is the form that your body takes whenever you're posing. So most fat people have what's called an A-taper, you know. Little at the top and real big belly, jelly belly at the very bottom, you know. But pretty much that's a taper. Boy, my neck is hurting a little bit. I had a pretty good V-taper. Just definitely no genetics here, so. Is it fair to say an hourglass-shaped women have an X taper? No, it's just an, you know. I mean, you're still talking about V-taper all the same. To have an X taper, that means they have to have some big-ass legs, you know, or so forth. So that still falls under the V-taper type thing. Well, when you're dry, that means you have no water under your subcutaneous muscle or so forth. You look crisp, you know. Now, I know you guys are trolling, but, I can always give definitions to things like this. I got no problems. I'm sure you guys are trying to keep me on my toes or something. But the less water you have under your subcutaneous muscles, the better you're going to actually look. Yeah, I intend to do a live outside. I actually have my tripod now, so yeah, I'll definitely be able to do a live stream outside. And then I got another one, so I'll do a few at the table. That's a good thing about the Sunday Hangover. It's going to be where I'm going to be. It's either going to be pre-recorded or not reported. These are just quick hits for Sunday, just at random or so. Well, that was my version, Psycho. Getting rid of the water in the body allows your muscles to look better, allows your veins to pop out better. That's all it really is. You don't get to ask real bodybuilders with the bodybuilding terms. Yeah, I guess it's right. I mean, if you're not attending any bodybuilding shows or events, I guess so. But at the same time, all of this stuff, Psycho, you can just put into Google. Oh, you got the roof done there, Lamar? That's awesome. You know. How much did it cost you in all to redo the roof, just out of curiosity? But yeah, other than that, Chris, I forgot to mention, Chris Bumstead 5 times. I thought he was in a little bit of trouble, but he managed to pull out that win. Guess that's more money in his pocket, but of course, I don't really expect him to go into the Open. You know, he would have to. I think he'd have to put on a lot of muscle in order to do it, and he's already doing good where he is. Yep, MLM. I did debate always Marco last night. The debate was really about his court case there, Pugman, but he wanted to discuss my opinions about network marketing. And my opinions are the pretty much the same. There's no MLM business to actually join anymore. It's no different than it's an extinct practice. I worked as a telemarketer, but back in the late 90s, but we don't have telemarketers anymore unless they're scam artists. What I was trying to simply explain to Marco is that you should have just went after distributors, but when you try to target the whole industry, that's going to get you that's strike one. Strike two is the fact that you worked at a casino, and there's nothing more of a pyramid scheme or scam than a casino. Casinos take money. Number three, his entire primary source of income is for going around telling people that MLM is a scam. And regardless as to whether there's people scamming, because yeah, the industry's scummy, you're not reporting as a journalist. You're reporting basically. You're not even really so much as reporting as an activist. You're making money off calling other people scammers. That's how you make your living. There's nothing wrong with it, but what happens, and what I tried to explain to Marco, is that uh, it's going to cause you to lose some of that First Amendment immunity that you had. That's why these companies are suing him. The kid's like 27 years old, and is being sued by multi-billion-dollar companies. They're going to have like 10 or 11 lawyers on him and stuff. And then I didn't even, I was at least nice enough, Pugman, not to bring up the fact that he was bragging about being a cocaine dealer. I didn't even bring that up at all. I mean, I do respect what he's trying to do. I mean, MLM and network marketing is a shitbag. But when that ship goes down, they're gonna drag his ass with it. But good to see you, Pugman. But that was supposed to be the debate about my issue with them was more or less about trying to go after this whole industry and stuff. I think it's just reckless, just because you see, it's like trying to drive a Ford Pinto into a castle, and expect it to fall over. You got some really crazy people these days that think that they can, I mean, it's no different than religion. You got these pastors pimping the congregation, flying around on private jets and stuff, and buying all these big houses. You're supposed to condemn the pastors. You don't condemn religion as a whole, And that's my analogy as far as that's concerned. But he really fucked up. So, I mean, regardless as to what his little peanut gallery actually says, I'm not the nigga that's getting sued. Because I would never put myself in a type of situation like he had, to where it's gotten to the point to where they're gonna blow his ass open, wide open, I hated COVID. You might put on gutters. Okay, 250 is a pretty good deal. What's my favorite breakfast? I always like scrambled eggs and oatmeal. But I can't eat too many eggs because it has a lot of cholesterol. So, but I always like scrambled eggs. If anything, I always prefer an Eggs Benedict. Raul, what's up there? So, what would be my last meal for today, or you need to be more specific? Yeah, game over for him there. And then of course there's one other factor, Pugman, that I didn't even bring up there. Besides the cocaine dealing and stuff like that, you unfortunately also have this, I mean, literally speaking, you literally got you got pictures like this around. Not a good look, folks. Not a good look. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I mean, this is what these network marketing companies is. They went and hacked this Google Drive. They've hacked up everything of him. And they put out all these pictures and stuff. This is what I'm talking about, Pug Man. I mean, they're literally going after him with stuff like that. They got like 5 or 6 different flagging websites, and there's nothing he can do about it. But Psycho, COVID was pretty bad for me because I was all stuck in and everything. I just didn't like these forced vaccination type things. I think it should have been a choice, but that stuff was being forced on others. But yes, I am vaxxed. Gonna rebuild the fence? Okay. Last meal, then I die? I'd probably prefer just having a cigarette and a nice glass of wine, or a shot of brandy. I wouldn't really want a last meal per se, No, that ain't AI generated, Bean Smasher. That's a legit picture. That's a legit picture. I mean, I don't mean to disparage him or anything like that, but they've gone and hacked his accounts and stuff like that. I guess he thought that he was going to get a fair fight, that it was going to be all professional, and he was going to fly under the radar. Wrong. I mean, they literally got content after content. They've literally hacked all his accounts. They've super doxed him, literally. I mean, do you guys have to, see this again? Huh? You still got to see this again? I mean, literally. I mean, like I said, these companies are going to play dirty, folks. They're going to play dirty, We are the Goodrum Group, and we are home. Well, maybe he might want to join the Goodrum Group, Well, let's go ahead and get the soul poll in. You got the 2023? Okay. I've had the vax and I had the booster, and that's it. But I got to be careful what I say up here because, the YouTube thing goes and picks it up and stuff, But I've been vaxxed and boosted, so. But I've not taken anything since then. I've not gotten anything in 2023. I've just gotten a flu shot. But yeah, they're playing dirty, And you know what I mean? The thing about it is, folks, it's like that old Kenny Rogers song. You got to know when to hold 'em, when to fold. He just didn't fold. He thought he can get away with it. He thought that they were going to play fair and they were just going to ignore what he said. And I mean, it's not just one company that's suing him. It's actually 2, So he has 2 he's got one multi-billion-dollar company, and then he has a multi-million-dollar company. He should really worry about the multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, they used to be freaking owned by Citicorp, for crying out loud, Literally speaking, you are being sued by a multi-billion-dollar company. You can't have CoffeeZilla or anyone else to help you out, They're going to bring in 10 lawyers. He's going to be walking around on the belt loop there by the end of the day. Once they get done with him, he needs to go apologize and just erase his channel and just say goodbye. That's what I would do. Well, the thing about it is, I would never get myself in a position to where I would end up like that. It's crazy. It's no different than these people chasing around these so-called child molesters. They're trying to do it for clout, They're trying to get it for mints and attention, And sometimes this stuff backfires. I've only had one cold this year. Exploring Angel, we discussed that at the beginning of the show. I hope you're doing well. Just check the replay as far as my comments on that. Lamar, you are a regular handyman, I'll tell you what. No, Raul, Lamar's probably huge from playing all that football. But yeah, folks, if y'all want to see the interview or so forth, y'all can go to alwaysmarco.com. But, you know, if you want, it's like I said on that show, don't join any multi-level marketing element whatsoever. Just avoid it. But I shouldn't have to tell you guys, y'all are piss troopers anyway. You know, y'all don't care about that stuff. We make money nowadays by pimping hoes. We put bitches on the street. Yep, Pugman. But I mean, in Hell's Angels, they're a gang. And they sell drugs and everything like that. But you don't want to go up directly to a Hell's Angel and tell them that you're selling drugs and you're scum and stuff like that. So. I feel really bad for Marco. They gonna tear him up pretty bad. They're gonna tear him up pretty good. Maybe if he backs down and prints a retraction of some type, Pugman, he might be able to get himself out of the situation. Being 27, having no money, living in a tiny apartment, you're being sued by not one but two, you have one multi-billion-dollar company that's suing you. That's just nuts, you know. He has one multi-billion. I mean, Primerica. And when I was up there trying to discuss Primerica with him, he was too scared to talk about it. He wouldn't even talk about it, Pugman. That's how shook they got him, you know. He realizes that, hey, I'm in some deep shit, you know. But it's too late now. They're gonna have him on his belt loop. KCB, you're getting in kind of late there. Like I said, it could have been either one of those people that could have won. It's going to be a lot more than just bankruptcy, Pugman. A whole lot. This is not something that he's going to exactly be able to file for bankruptcy. He might be able to get away with it. You know, he's in Canada, so the rules are a little bit different there, you know. No, we never talked about that. Not as far as kids are concerned. Oh, the guy was debating last night, Always Marco. That's what the debate was really all about. I didn't realize he wanted to debate about the nuances of MLM or so forth. You know, I sailed on the ship there, made my money, but I'm not going to go down with the ship. I was also a telemarketer too, you know. And I used to tell people at Verizon, you know, to cut back on their service, they got to pay $30 per line. There's no such thing as an honest business out there. There's no honest politics or anything. You can construe everything in life as a scam, and you can name off the reasons here, you know. The Hell's Angels are a gang. They sell drugs, but you don't go and walk up to a Hell's Angel and tell them that they are doing that. Yes, Pugman, you are supposed to keep your vows till death do you part, but, you know, there's still a divorce. But I think that applies as long as you're married, you're supposed to keep vows, you know. I don't know, but we're divorced now. I mean, and, you know, it was a mutual decision. All right, folks. It is 3 o'clock p.m. That's the end of the Sunday Hangover. Want to thank Bean Smasher for the donation. Of course, I always want to thank my man Pugman. I want to thank everybody else for hanging out with me. Don't forget to tune in to Tuesday's Earl Grey Tuesday if I decide to keep the name. I may end up changing it since I'm not drinking Earl Grey anymore. But folks, good to see you guys again. I hope you enjoy Saturday. Watch a lot of football. Don't drink too much beer, but get some wings. And as always, peace and soul.